Last week on the show we talked about, the possibility of it getting revealed soon or when it might be revealed, and we didn't really, have anything concrete. There was just a reporter out there, Pedro Henrique Ludalipa, otherwise known as PH Brazil online, and he had a podcast where he indicated it would be one of the last podcasts before Switch 2 news would come out. He is a Brazilian reporter, worked at a whole bunch of big outlets. He's a gaming journalist. He's gone independent over the last year, which is why you've heard from him a bit more. But what's interesting is in there, he noted that some presentations from September have been moved up to this month. Why? I don't know. Okay, now that's just what he said. We didn't know, right? Kind of a rumor. Well, then Nintendo went ahead and did that Nintendo Museum Direct. Well, that's one presentation. And then he came out and said there's more presentations coming, just to clarify that he did mean more than one, and he said it originally more than one. So there's something else happening, supposedly. And if that happens, again, as I said, all these topics are related. If that happens, then it's going to make you think, well, geez, is he then right about the Switch 2 stuff, which he indicated we would have actual news on somewhat soon, aka revealed this year, maybe even September, because why else would Nintendo move things from September to the end of August? So Switch 2 might be getting revealed in September. That's kind of, if he's correct, if everything's starting to line up ever since that Museum Direct, it's starting to line up that he might be right. And if he's right, it could be revealed next month. So what I want to ask you all is, well, do you buy it? Let's start with that. And then two, even if you don't buy it, how excited would you be if it was happening? Literally, it could be 4 weeks from now.
September's in a week and a half.
Evo's gonna blast away. Do you believe it?
Do I believe it? Yes, I want to believe it. I want to believe it. I think the timing lines up with what the original Nintendo Switch was. I think
it's like a month sooner. Yeah,
they showed the teaser in October.
Yep,
and then everything was in January. So I think it lines up. If I'll be excited, honestly, I'm so sick of these. I'm so sick of rumors. I'm so sick of not knowing anything. So yeah, I'll be excited to actually. What?
So you hate channels like mine?
Yeah, I see every day Nintendo Prime, Nintendo Switch 2 coming out.
You're all dude. You have the multiple accounts making all the negative comments. I got it.
Yeah, that's all I do all day. What else would I do?
Yeah,
but right. No, I think everybody is just sitting on their thumbs waiting for this thing to actually be revealed.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about I've been talking about Switch 2 pretty much since I would say the end of 2022 or about the middle of 2022 when that NVIDIA leak happened. That happened that summer. That's really what got the ball rolling with Switch 2 talk, because the leak was confirmed by NVIDIA, so it was a legit, it's real. NVIDIA got hacked and had a huge leak. And in that leak was this listing of NVN2, notably one of the code names behind the chip being used on the Switch was NVN. So it really got people talking about the Switch 2, but there really wasn't a ton of information. Eventually, we figured out that maybe it might be this T239 chip, and that seems more solid today than it did back then. So then, got into 2023, and the talks just kept increasing and kept increasing. Dev units were supposedly sent out in July of 2023. Then we had leaks from Gamescom where Nintendo did have a private booth there where you could play Mario Wonder for media, but also apparently they were showing off demos for the Switch 2. Now, Nintendo kind of publicly denied some of that stuff. They didn't deny the entirety of it. If you actually go back to Furukawa's wording, he didn't deny all of it. But he denied, basically what people were treating it as. They were acting like it was something that it wasn't, yada, yada. I don't know. Anyways, that's all in the past. Then we get to, obviously, this year. And look, Nintendo just straight up told us they're saying something about the Nintendo Switch successor before the end of the fiscal year, was end of March. So Nintendo's now admitting the thing exists, and they're going to talk about it eventually here, sometime this fiscal year. So sometime in the next 7 months, Nintendo will talk about it regardless of rumors. And now, obviously, as we get closer to the end of the year, the talks are picking up again. Hey, devs are hearing things. thing could be revealed in 2024. And the number one argument I probably against has probably been that, oh, it'll hurt holiday sales. Like, that's the only thing I keep hearing. Everyone who says it's not happening this year, oh, they don't want to hurt holiday sales. Oh, they don't want to hurt holiday sales. Oh, they don't want to hurt holiday sales.
How would I know who's still buying a Nintendo Switch at this point besides collectors? Like, I know a lot of people, like I have 6 and I'm getting a 7th one.
Dude,
I know collectors are doing it, but who else is buying one?
Yeah, like people that are new.
The Zelda Switch Lite's going to sell out. I ain't worried about that. That's going to sell
out. I mean, even if they don't have them, say it's like a parent buying it for their kid, they're not going to care that a Nintendo Switch 2 is revealed. Like, they're still going to buy Switch Lite for, little Timmy or
little Tim.
They're going to buy it anyway. They don't care.
That's what I've been saying too. I think we've all been saying that on this podcast week after week, that's the thing is they're still going to be buying this for kids, man. That's not going to change anything. And I don't think parents are going to be upset. And in fact, parents would probably rather buy into the Switch 1 because then you can get cheaper games.
Look, as a dad, I'll tell you right now, I buy my kids no launch day $400 system with a $70 launch game. So I'm spending $500 with taxes. Oh, and by the way, then they might want the controller to play it on the TV. So now I'm spending $600 like, as a parent, I ain't doing that. I'll buy them the $200 Switch Lite.
If that $500 rumor is correct, like, there's no way.
That was the top end.
I'm not buying that.
But the only way I'd buy it would have like if a $500 price existed, like that better be like a 2 terabyte system or something. Like they better make it actually worthwhile with an OLED screen.
And it's 3D too.
Yeah, the glass is free 3D in there. It also makes me pancakes and bacon every morning.
Right.
Not because it overheats, by the way. We don't want to be cooking on the screen. But no, I do think that right now we're in like this flux situation because Nintendo told us that they're going to say something. And so now every time they have an event, they got to keep putting that disclaimer on it, right? Like in June, hey, there will be no Switch successor news or games or anything in this direct. Hey, we have a Nintendo Museum direct. No one would expect us to show Switch 2 here. Oh, hey, there will be no news on the Nintendo Switch successor here or any like news on games. Actually, they technically said there would be no games. And it's kind of funny because like most of the presentation was showing games technically, but obviously we know they meant like not showing off new games. And in that direct museum, if you pay attention, there's a few things that could indicate they're hiding Switch 2 material in the museum with clever camera cuts. And there's a whole section behind the Nintendo Switch that's like blanked off because you can see all the big controllers in the area. And there's a section behind Switch, which would be where the next system would be, but there's nothing there yet. I'm not saying, by the way, that
where's the giant controller? Where's the giant controller?
Yeah, this is all conspiracy theory, right? That's what it all is because the museum's not open yet.
Well, yeah. When's it open? October 2nd?
And here's the thing. If they are going to have anything in there out the gate for the next system, you got to reveal it before October 2nd.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, that might get people to come to the museum because you could get a sneak peek of Nintendo's next system.
Oh, maybe you get to play it.
Book my flight now.
Imagine they had a fucking demo in there. A demo for the new Mario game or something. Oh, because they have this thing where they show the graphics over the years, and conveniently they get past like Mario Odyssey on Switch, and there's like another slot. But every single time the camera pans, Miyamoto walks right in front of where that spot is. It's like, oh shit, is that an image for the new Mario game? And they're just clever camera cutting so you can't see it.
Probably.
Again, it's a lot of conspiracy theories, but it happens a lot. Like when we play it, when we get to that section, we play it. Pay attention to how like clever the camera angles and how they cut things. So specifically, any possible shot of showing anything after Switch, there's always something in the way.
Cool. Interested to see that.
And again, it is a conspiracy theory because maybe there's just nothing there. But
they really don't need to reveal the Switch 2 with all this free marketing everybody's giving it already.
Well, I mean, look, if it's not called Switch 2, and then this marketing is irrelevant. They need a name out there.
It's just the Nintendo Switch successor. That's what they call it. God damn it!
I mean, at this point, everybody call
that would be so Nintendo. Just call the Nintendo Switch successor. Rolls off the tongue.
At this point, everybody's calling it the Switch 2 anyway, so why not just
Yeah,
call it the Switch 2?
I agree.
Watch
Let's
them
not
just
let's not
drop-
be cute.
What if they
Call
just
it
switch
Switch
the
2.
Switch name? They just don't even use Switch.
Ugh.
The Wii U 2.
Just look, obviously, I think all of us would love for this thing to be revealed this month, let alone next month, right? The sooner the better. It'd be great to get it out there. I don't really worry so much about the holiday sales. I've talked about it several times that, like, look, one, Nintendo's already publicly talking about the successor. They just did it again when we had the Museum Direct. Here's your public disclaimer from Nintendo of America, right out in the open. They're not hiding that a successor is coming. So, like, you might go, well, the general public doesn't know. You're right. The general public who doesn't, follow Nintendo, like, really closely, follow them on social media. Yeah, they don't know. But you know what they also might not know? If a reveal trailer was dropped. Because where is the reveal trailer dropped? In the exact same places that we're seeing the Nintendo Switch successor be talked about. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. And if you're not following Nintendo socials, you might not see said trailer for a new thing. I don't really think like the general populace becomes aware of something until we start getting commercials and ads for it. Because then it pops up on Amazon when you're watching
100%.
shows. Pops up in any YouTube video you're watching. It pops up on TikTok while you're scrolling. There'll be ads. Like until
Movie
Nintendo
theaters.
starts, movie theaters, yeah. Like until Nintendo starts actually marketing it to the general populace, I don't really think teaser trailer is going to hurt anything. Because the only people that will know about it are the people that already know about it.
Yeah, I mean, the Switch 2, whatever it launches with, is going to sell out. Like, there's no the diehard Nintendo fans are going to buy it all out anyway, so they don't really have to worry about the general public until that first holiday or even the next year.
Yeah, man. Look, people have seen it in my videos. I actually think Brazil's pretty fucking legit. Like, if you actually want to really dig into his strategy, he did work at some really big outlets out of Brazil. And I think part of the reason that people are skeptical and it kind of sucks is the language barrier. Like, I think it's just, if this would have been, like, if this was Andy Robinson talking about this, people wouldn't really doubt it. If it was Jason Schreier, people wouldn't doubt it, but that's because they're English. And it's really easy for people to follow and verify, in English, people that speak English. When it's someone speaking Portuguese, like, it's not like people just aren't as aware in the English speaking world.
Mhm.
And people are always like, well, then why is this guy, or why is it only now that? Because he's independent now. So he's more able to freely talk without having to like run it past his bosses and stuff. That's why
you have to worry about getting fired.
Yeah, he's not going to fire himself,
Right?
He obviously he's got to worry about protecting his sources, but besides that, he doesn't have to worry. He gets to make those decisions now. That's why you've heard more. And not everybody goes to FAMI boards where he said a lot of this stuff, and he does actually speak really good English. Some of the rumors or reports that he put out there, he actually made one English video on it, and I wish he would do that more often. Do it both ways. Do it in Portuguese and in English. Because I think he's now aware that, like, a lot of English speakers are like trying to figure out what I'm saying. Well, instead of like having people translate it, why don't I just do it for you?
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice if you do that a bit more often. But I understand that just adds to his workload. Like, guys, he was just with a media pass. Here's the thing: his social following isn't very big. His YouTube channel, it's not like he has like a huge following, but yet he's got all these media badges everywhere. Media badge at Gamescom. Media badge at the Pokemon Worlds, media badge at Summer Game Fest this year. He was at the Days of Play. That's media only. Like, dude, he's getting credentialed everywhere. You think that happens because he's a nobody?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I think one of the reasons that people doubt him is he had this one big thing early in the year that got people mad. We're not talking about he was the first person to report on the Switch 2 being delayed out of this year. Internal delay. Be fair, hasn't been announced. There's no public delay. Internal delay. This would be something you normally wouldn't even hear about. But he he said that at the time of the delay, that there would be a direct in April, and it might get revealed in June. Obviously, there was no direct in April, and it wasn't revealed in June. So like people really hold that against him. And he admits that like he shouldn't have said that because that information was around the same time it got delayed. So that might have been the plan if it was going to be revealed in March, that they might have followed that up with the Switch Direct in April to kind of calm Switch owners down. Like, hey, but this is, don't worry, we got you. We got Echoes of Wisdom. We got this and that. But then they're like, no, wait, things got all pushed back. But here's the thing. When we got to June, 3 days before the Direct happened, 2 days before it was announced, he literally said, yeah, it's this Wednesday. No one, what? It's this Wednesday? Sure as shit. It happened. He did this, that was for the partner direct in February. Sorry, the one in June, I think he said was on Tuesday morning. It was like the weekend before. He's like, yeah, everyone's like, man, is this thing going to happen? Yeah, guys, shut up. It's Tuesday morning. Sure as shit. The direct was Tuesday morning. And now he has this thing where he's like, hey, they moved some events from September to the next couple of weeks. And one of the events already happened. And he came in because people were mad at him because they thought, oh, you're hyping up a museum direct. He's like, multiple presentations, motherfucker. And there's another one, so shut up. Another one.
People might be.
We'll get into that later. But
think people might feel burned by like PRO and.
I don't know. I think they feel burned by Nate the Hate earlier this year. Remember, Nate the Hate was the one that said it's being revealed in March. Just said it straight up, like it literally in February. You remember it was like 3 days before the public announcement came about it, or not public, but the reports came out that it was delayed. He went on a podcast and said it's being revealed in March. And people just got hyped because he's been one of the biggest Nintendo insiders for a long time. And then boom, the announcement comes out about an internal delay. It's not being revealed in March. And here's the problem with that. People got hyped up for Switch Pro. Never came out. So people already kind of felt burned from that. And now it just felt like, oh, here's another cycle. This is the same sort of people that were reporting on Switch Pro. Nate the Hate was, reporting on it back then. And now we're burned again. These people don't know anything. Notably, Brazil never said it was being revealed in March. He did say that he was told that they might mention it exists at some point in April. Okay, well, they didn't mention it existed in April. They waited till May 7th. So a week out of April. Pretty close. I think he deserves partial credit for just admitting it exists. Because he was the only, quote unquote insider that said that's what he heard would happen first. Which, if you think about the way Nintendo's handled all of their new systems, it's always been like we mention it exists before we even show it. So yeah, that's how we got all the code names in the past, right? Revolution and NX and Dolphin. We got that stuff because that was them admitting something exists before they reveal it. Anyways, I don't know. This to me is just a really odd topic. Eric, what do you think? Like, obviously, we can talk about, well, if it's revealed in September, does that mean it's coming out early next year? Obviously, there's reports that it's like first half rather than like first quarter.
It just can't get here soon enough for me. I still rocking my original Switch, so I am looking to desperately upgrade. Not that my Switch doesn't work, it's just it's time.
What, your Switch isn't like Yulia's where the screen is breaking down and there's lines on it everywhere and she's bitching at me about it every day? By the way, she's my fiance didn't really play video games until the Nintendo Switch generation, and now I have to buy 4 Nintendo Switch 2s at launch because now she has to have one at launch. So I actually would appreciate Nintendo if when you reveal this, if it's revealed in September, you just tell us what month it's coming so I know how long I have to save up thousands. That'd be nice. Because I'm gonna need to save up. I mean, I'm just gonna start saving anyways, but still, damn. All I know, guys, is I'm really excited. Like I'm really, really, really excited. Jawbreaker here did a $5 super chat feature right now. He said, I heard from an anonymous leaker whose name I can't disclose that backwards compatibility won't be in the next system and that it will be 3D. 3D.
Okay.
I love the troll, baby. That's legit. Too legit.
I kind of don't want backwards compatibility.
Oh man, if you believe in Brazil, he said a long time ago it have physical and digital backwards compatibility.
I just feel like it holds systems back.
Also, that they developers do have they were given the tools to do upgrades to their backwards compatible games if they wanted to, not automatic upgrades, but
I don't know if backwards compatibility holds systems back. I think it's more devs and or the actual like system people themselves. Because I mean, look at PS5. Sony could have said, "Okay, enough with bringing along PS4 anymore. We're finally just switching over to PS5." But they've dragged that thing for so long that it's kind of like, okay, sure.
I'll say this: I think I know what John Eba's getting at here, right? Like you're just kind of tired of like the system isn't like we're in what year 4 of PlayStation 5, and it doesn't even feel like they've even tapped into the power of it, and yet now we're talking about a PS5 Pro coming out.
And now devs are going back. Like Jedi Survivor just got a PS4 and an Xbox One port.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But I mean, they're doing that because the audience isn't migrating at the rate that they expected. The third parties expected. I kind of look at the Nintendo situation. I feel like is really unique because they have publicly been one of the only companies that has said consistently, even in the Iwata era, we believe games sell systems. So if we don't have exclusive games, we don't think there's a reason to buy the system. And so like Nintendo is going to have exclusive games out the gate for this new platform. I know because I know there's that weird Dash Wheel rumor out there about how Nintendo won't have any major game. Yeah, okay. Nintendo repeating the Steel Diver launch of 3DS. I just don't see. I did.
I mean, they're holding stuff. There's no way.
I
haven't had a Mario game for 8 years.
Right? There's no way. Mario. You can't tell me, it'll come 6 months after. 6 months, mother? No. Right. If it's coming 6 months after launch, then delay it till it's ready. What the fuck? Like, come on. Like, there's no way.
ARMS 2 is the big launch title. It's going to sell hundreds of millions of copies.
Even if the launch title ends up being a cross-gen Metroid Prime 4, that's still a bigger deal than Steel Diver. That's still something. I don't know if it's a system seller, but it's something. So like I ain't worried. They're gonna have something at launch. If it's not the 3D Mario and it's not Mario Kart, there's still going to be something, and they're probably gonna have something the month after and the month after. Guys, they've averaged a game being published every single month of the Switch's life. They're not just gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna launch a system then not give you anything to play for 6 months. This isn't the Wii U. This isn't the 3DS where we had to wait till like the holidays to get a Mario Kart game. And that's after they heavily discounted it. Like, it'll be fine. I think Furukawa knows what he's doing. I think he's being very smart about this. I feel like there's a little panic in the air, which is why like that rumor comes out about the worry about the Mario games. Like, people are just a little worried because we just haven't seen it. I think once this thing's revealed, all the panic's going to go away.
I said it, I think on my socials, it's not going to flop. It's going to have mainline Pokemon games. And they sell no matter what. Like we're probably gonna get Legend ZA at launch. Mario Kart, 3D Mario, Pokemon. Like it's not flopping. There's no doubt.
There's a massive Zelda game in the middle of the gen.
Yeah, there's no way it's flopping.
Nintendo's putting all their games on one system. I don't know how that can flop unless the system itself is just a bad system. And I don't see Nintendo putting out that bad of it. They're still supposedly working with Nvidia. I don't think it's going to be that bad. Is it going to be as powerful as people want it to be? Who knows? People aren't going to care once they play the games. They're not. Like, Nintendo's games are going to be amazing on this thing. Third parties, we'll see. We'll see what they do. Obviously, we don't know yet. But I obviously, as a fan, I really want this thing revealed soon. As a content creator, I also really want it revealed soon. And it's not actually selfishly for my channel, although, yeah, I assume it'll help the channel. I feel like as a content creator, I deal in a wider scope of a Nintendo fan base than I would if I wasn't a creator, because I pay attention to communities for other creators. But normally as a fan, I'm a tech fan, I don't really pay attention to all the communities of all the different tech YouTubers I watch. It's just like one community I maybe like participate in. And what I've noticed in paying attention to all these different Nintendo fan communities, whether it's on Reddit or Twitter or Instagram or all the different YouTubers, a lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people are worn out. And there's also a lot of pressure on Nintendo. And I feel like the reveal, more than anything, just kind of releases that pressure valve that everyone's been feeling.
Mhm.
It'll just kind of be like a relief for so many fans that, like, hey, it's not rumors anymore. It's
Mhm.
not, leaks. It's not like that stuff will still happen. But here's the damn system now. Like,
Well-
this is even though Nintendo said it exists, it's still kind of like, yeah, we haven't seen it though. Could be vaporware.
I mean, to be fair though, if they do reveal it and it somehow gets delayed, is that make it better, or does that make it worse?
I don't think they're revealing it and then delaying it after.
Well,
it's
I
revealed.
wouldn't think so either. But if something were to happen, let's say they had like 3 or 4 factories burned down or something,
Going to the extremes here.
yeah, no, it would have to be. But if for some odd reason
Taiwan
like,
is sunk into the ocean.
hey, you never know. I would hate that. But I mean, you just never know. Would that make that better or worse?
I don't know. I mean, and then we have the reports out there that mass production of some of the components has begun. So, like, that's also like, I mean, setting aside reports and rumors, like, that's kind of like, oh, well, if that report is true, and I know DJ Money is not like always the most reliable source on things. It supposedly comes from a financial call that happened with Welltrend. Problem with that is like it's all in Chinese, and I can't. Like, talk about language barriers. Like, look, I tried downloading and listening to it, and then I tried running it through a translation tool, and the English was so broken. I don't really. Look, I can't verify any of it. That's the problem, but I don't think they're intentionally lying to us. Like, they even had a direct quote from the CEO. I'm assuming that that's a real quote. So yeah, like, if some of the components are in mass manufacturing, then assembly of it probably begins at some point next month or in October. That means something's coming. Whether it's coming in, I mean, I'd like it to come in March. I don't know that that's happening, but even if it's just first half next year, I'm good with that. As soon as they reveal the thing, I mean, look, we get to talk about the games. Like, that's the one thing that hasn't really gotten talked about in all this. We talk about, what would make a good launch game? What would be a good launch year? Yeah, but now we get to see them and actually talk about what they're doing with the games. Or, like, we get footage of a third-party game. People are going to be like, oh, we got to compare that to, like, what we have today. So, like, we can, holy crud, does that look really good? Are we like, fooling ourselves? Wait a second. That looks as good as the PlayStation 5 version when you put them side by side at 1080p? Wait, what? It's crazy. But the Switch 2 is not as powerful. And like, no. Then the game releases and it's buggy and crashes all the time. Who the fuck knows?
I just want Elden Ring. That's all. That's
No,
all. I need.
dude.
It works well on the Steam Deck. It will work fine.
Dude,
On
yeah. Elden Ring needs to be like a launch game. It needs to be like the Skyrim that they advertised with Switch.
I think they give us a bundle with the Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC. Maybe have an exclusive collector's edition where you get a statue of Radon or something.
Sure.
Easy seller.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things where there's a lot of things they need to do. But anyways, I hope it's revealed next month. I hope the reports are correct. If they're not, I'm sure I'll get shit on a lot by people. What do you want me to do? I'm just reporting the reports. And yes, I get excited because I want the damn thing, man. I wanted it like 2 years ago, let alone today. I've been ready. Look, I love Switch. The Zelda OLED edition is gorgeous. I love it. But I want all my games on it, man. I want Elden Ring on it. I don't want to have to run to another system. My other systems aren't as convenient. Even Steam Deck, not as convenient. I can't just easily dot that with my TV. I got to grab like a fucking cord and go plug it in because I might as well leave a fucking cord pointed out. My kids will yank on it. Oh, yeah, well, there's a dock. Okay, you mean the dock you got to set it in and then plug it into the fucking top? That's no. No, look at this. Look at this. In and out, baby. In and out. And not the food place. I hate that place. Blasphemy, I know.